Namo Fundamental Teacher Shakyamuni Buddha. Namo Fundamental Teacher Shakyamuni Buddha. Namo Fundamental Teacher Shakyamuni Buddha. The unsurpassed, deep, profound, subtle, wonderful Dharma is in 100,000 million years. It's difficult to encounter. Now that I've come to receive and hold it within my sight, hearing space, I vow to fathom the Dhamma's true and actual meaning. Wondrous Dhamma Lotus Flower Sutra, the universal door of the Bodhisattva who listens to the voices of the world. Chapter 25. At that time, Bodhisattva infinite resolve rose from his seat, at his right shoulder, joined his palms and facing the Buddha said, O world owner one, how did Guanxin Bodhisattva get the name Guanshi? The Buddha answered, Bodhisattva infinite resolve, good man, if all the countless hundreds of thousands of millions of living beings, tormented by misery and pain, hear of Guanxin Bodhisattva, and with all their hearts invoke his name, Guanxin Bodhisattva will immediately respond to their prayers and set them free. If those who hold the name of Guanxin Bodhisattva should fall into a great fire, the fire will not burn them because of Guanxin Bodhisattva's awesome spiritual power. If they are being tossed about in deep and treacherous waters and call his name, they will quickly reach the shallows. Hundreds of thousands of myriads of millions of men in search of gold, silver, lapis lazuli, tridacna and carnelian, coral, amber pearls, and other precious treasures, may run afoul of violent squalls that blow their ships to the lands of Rakshasas. But if one man among them calls the name of Guanxin Bodhisattva, then the entire group will all be saved from the throes of the Rakshasas. For this reason, he is called the Enlightened One, who listens to the voices of the world. If someone facing deadly harm recites Guanxin Bodhisattva's name, the weapons of the assailants will break apart, and he will get away. Even if the entire threefold great thousand world system were teeming with yakshas and rakshasas, bent on vexing men, when the evil demons hear the name of Guanxin Bodhisattva called out by this man, they will not be able to see them with their wicked eyes, much less do them in. If there is a person, whether innocent or guilty, who is locked in stocks or shackled by ropes and chains, his fetters will snap and fall away, letting him go free as soon as he invokes Guanxin Bodhisattva's name. Suppose vicious thieves in legions that could fill the threefold great thousand world system infest a perilous road along which a merchant chief guides a trader's caravan laden with precious jewels. If one man among them proclaims, Good man, do not be afraid. With all your hearts invoke the name of Guanxin Bodhisattva, the Enlightened One who gives courage to all beings. If we beseech this Bodhisattva, we will surely escape these thieves. Upon hearing this exhortation, if all the traders in unison cry out, Namo Guanxin Bodhisattva, by virtue of calling out Guanxin's name, they will immediately go free. Infinite resolve, how imposing is the awesome spiritual power of the great Bodhisattva who listens to the voices of the world. If any living being with weighty desires can constantly revere and keep in mind Guanxin Bodhisattva, his passions will subside. If someone with much anger can constantly revere and keep in mind Guanxin Bodhisattva, then his anger will subside. If someone dull and foolish can constantly review and keep in mind Guanxin Bodhisattva, he will leave stupidity behind. Infinite result, the Bodhisattva who listens to the voices of the world with his magnificent spiritual power confers such abundant benefits as this, and so living beings should always keep him in their hearts and hold his name in mind. If women seeking sons bow to and make offering to the Bodhisattva Guanshi, they will give birth to sons, happy, virtuous, and wise. If instead they wish for daughters, they will bear gifted daughters with deep-rooted, wholesome characters, beloved and respected by all. Infinite result, such is the power of the Bodhisattva who listens to the voices of the world. Any living beings who worships and makes offering to Guanxin Bodhisattva will never take a loss. Therefore, every single living being should hold Guanxin Bodhisattva's name in mind. Infinite result, suppose someone held the names of Bodhisattvas to the number of grains of sand in 62 million Ganges rivers, and for this person's entire life made offerings to them, all of food and drink, clothes, bedding, and medicine. What is your opinion? Would the merit virtue accrue by that good man or woman be abundant? Infinite result replied, extremely abundant, world owner one, very great indeed. The Buddha said, yea, if someone else held the name of Guanxin Bodhisattva, bow and made the offering but one time, the blessings of these two people would be identical, the same in everywhere, and would endure for quadrillions of eons. Infinite result, holding the name of Guanxin Bodhisattva, brings blessings and benefits as limitless and boundless as this. Again, the Bodhisattva Infinite result asked the Buddha, world owner one, how does Guanxin Bodhisattva wander in this Saha world? How does he speak Dharma for living beings? And what manner of resourcefulness does he command? The Buddha answered Bodhisattva Infinite result, if there is a living being in some country who can be liberated by a Buddha, Guanxin Bodhisattva appears as a Buddha and teaches him the Dharma. If someone can be liberated by a Pratyeka Buddha, he appears as a Pratyeka Buddha and teaches him the Dharma. If someone can be liberated by a sound hearer, he appears as a sound hearer and teaches him the Dharma. If someone can be liberated by a Brahma Heaven King, he appears as a Brahma Heaven King and teaches him the Dharma. If someone can be liberated by Chakra, he appears as Chakra and teaches him the Dharma. If someone can be liberated by the God of Comfort, he appears as the God of Comfort and teaches him the Dharma. If someone can be liberated by the God of Great Comfort, he appears as the God of Great Comfort and teaches him the Dharma. If someone can be liberated by a mighty general of the gods, he appears as a mighty general of the gods and teaches him the Dharma. If someone can be liberated by the god Vaishravana, he appears as Vaishravana and teaches him the Dharma. If someone can be liberated by a minor king, he appears as the minor king and teaches him the Dharma. If someone can be liberated by an elder, he appears as an elder and teaches him the Dharma. If someone can be liberated by a lay person, he appears as a lay person and teaches him the Dharma. If someone can be liberated by a minister of state, he appears as a minister of state and teaches him the Dharma. If someone can be liberated by a Brahman, he appears as a Brahman and teaches him the Dharma. If someone can be liberated by a monk or nun, a layman or laywoman, he appears as a monk or nun, or layman or laywoman, and teaches him the Dharma. If someone can be liberated by the wife of an elder, layman, minister of state, or Brahman, he appears as a wife and teaches him the Dharma. If someone can be liberated by a lad or maiden, he appears as a lad or maiden and teaches him the Dharma. If someone can be liberated by a god, dragon, yaksha, or Gandharva, an Ashura, Garuda, Kinnara, or Mahoraga, a human, non-human, and so forth, he appears accordingly and teaches him the Dharma. And if someone can be liberated by a Vajra-wielding spirit, he appears as a Vajra-wielding spirit and teach him the Dharma. Infinite resolve, such are the meritorious deeds done by Guanshi, the Bodhisattva who roams throughout the world and appears in various forms to rescue living beings. Therefore, you should all wholeheartedly make offering to the Bodhisattva who listens to the voices of the world. In times of terror, crisis, and trouble, the great Bodhisattva Guanshi can bestow courage and dispel all fears. Therefore, all throughout the Saha world, we call him giver of courage. The Bodhisattva in her infinite resolve said to the Buddha, World Owner One, I will now make the offering to the Bodhisattva Guanshi. And so saying, he removed his rosary of pearls, worth hundreds of thousands of taels of gold, and presented it to the Bodhisattva with these words. O human one, please accept my offering of Dharma, this rosary of precious pearls. But Guanxing Bodhisattva would not accept the pearls. Infinite resolve once more entreated Guanshi, O human one, out of pity for us, please receive the rosary. Then the Buddha said to Guanshi, out of compassion for infinite resolve and the four assemblies, for the gods, dragons, yakshas, Gandharvas, Asuras, Garudas, Kinnaras, Mahoragas, humans and non-human beings, and the rest accept this rosary. Then Guanxing Bodhisattva, out of pity for the four assemblies, for the gods, dragons, humans, non-humans, and the rest, accepted the rosary and divided into two parts. One strand offered to Shakyamuni Buddha, the other to the stupa of the Buddha many jewels. Infinite resolve, with such sovereign spiritual powers, does the Bodhisattva Guanshi traverse the Saha world. Then the Bodhisattva in her infinite resolve put his questions into verses and asked them once again. World Owner One, complete with wondrous hallmarks, several questions I will ask again. How did this disciple of the Buddha earn the name Guanshi? Then the World Owner One, his every feature full, answer in melodious verse to infinite resolve. Come listen, and I will tell you Guanyin's story, how deftly he responds to every sign. Spanning ages past the ken of numbers, with oceanic vows both deep and wide, serving ancient Buddhas several billions, his pure and lofty vows in brief I will tell. Whoever sees his face or learns about him, who can hold this Bodhisattva's name, will leave behind the sorrows of existence, and so these cultivations not in vain. Should you be pushed into a raging fire by enemies so harmful, mean, and cruel, evoke the strength of Guanyin Bodhisattva, the blaze will turn into a limpid pool. You cast adrift upon the mighty ocean, where dragons, ghosts, and sharks intense surround. Evoke the strength of Guanyin Bodhisattva, you'll float atop the waves and will not drown. Suppose an evil person push you headlong from atop the peak called wondrous tall. Evoke the strength of Guanyin Bodhisattva, and like the sun in space, you will not fall. Perhaps you tumble down from Vajra mountain, fleeing wicked ruffians who pursue. Evoke the strength of Guanyin Bodhisattva, and not the slightest harm will come to you. Surrounded by a mob of heartless bandits, their weapons drawn with murder on their minds, evoke the strength of Guanyin Bodhisattva, their evil hearts will soften and turn kind. If you are on the verge of execution, sentenced by the state, condemned to die, evoke the strength of Guanyin Bodhisattva, the soul will break to pieces just in time. If bound and chained, restrained by ropes and shackles, with hands and feet confined in stocks and gyves, evoke the strength of Guanyin Bodhisattva, the fetters by themselves will fall aside. Hexes, poison, magic spells, and voodoo, cast by those who plot to do you in, return to curse the sorcerer who sent them when you invoke the power of Guan Shi Yin. If you meet with evil Rakshasas, lethal dragons, ghosts, and vicious beasts, invoke the strength of Guan Yin Bodhisattva, none will dare to harm you in the least. Circle round and trapped by savage creatures, with razor fangs and claws that terrify, invoke the strength of Guan Yin Bodhisattva, and they will quickly flee to every side. Facing vipers, scorpions, and pythons, belching poison fumes and scorching flames, invoke the strength of Guan Yin Bodhisattva, they will shrink and turn away before his name. When thunder clouds blow and lightning crackles, dumping sleet and hail and heavy rains, invoke the strength of Guan Yin Bodhisattva, the skies will clear, the storms will drift away. Living beings harassed and vexed and troubled by countless sorrows burdened without cease, this Bodhisattva's wondrous wisdom power can help the suffering world obtain relief. Perfect and complete psychic power, widely versed in wisdom's subtle skills, in length throughout the 10 directions, the Bodhisattva manifested at will. The agony amid the evil pathways, the torments of ghosts, the beasts, the hells, the pains of birth, the aged, sick and dying, the Bodhisattva gradually dispels. O thou of true regard, of pure regard, regard far-reaching, wise and truly great, thy loving kindness, sympathy and deep regard, I vow to ever laud and venerate. Your wisdom sun can break apart the darkness, immaculate your virgin light unfurls, to quell disasters, winds and storms and fires, a universal light for all the world. Wellspring of compassion, princess thunder, your wondrous cloud of kindness covers all, extinguishing the fires of life's afflictions, as the rain of sweet dew Dharma falls. In trials, suits, and civil confrontations, when fear runs high, when warring army is near, evoke the strength of Guan Yin Bodhisattva, vengeance and bad feelings disappear. Fine and wondrous sound, Guan Shi Yin, Brahma sound steady as the tides, a name transcending every worldly sound, Guan Yin stay forever in my mind. Let not a single doubt arise to haunt us, for Guan Yin Bodhisattva, holy sage, amid life's troubles and the pains of dying, will ever be our refuge and our aid. O Holy One, replete with every virtue, your kindly gaze beholds all living beings, a boundless sea you are of every blessing, and let us bow to offer our esteem. Then Bodhisattva, guardian of the earth, arose from his seat, went before the Buddha and proclaimed, O world of the One, living beings must have abundant merit virtue to hear this chapter on Guan Shi Yin Bodhisattva's sovereign deeds, and how he universally responds with his spiritual power. And while the Buddha spoke this universal thought chapter, 84,000 living beings from among the assembly set their minds on achieving Anuttara Samgya Sambodhi. And of the universal thought of the Bodhisattva who listens to the voices of the world, chapter 25 of Wondrous Dharma Lotus Flower Sutra. Namo Hala Dalla Dola Ye Ye Chena Chena Jitu Jitu Mona Ulai Hong He Sutana Pamana Sapa Namo Hala Dalla Dola Ye Chena Chena Jitu Jitu Mona Ulai Hong He Sutana Pamana Sapa Namo Hala Dalla Dola Ye Chena
那切那记住记住，摩来摩来呼来吼吼嗦他那，巴摩罗萨巴，南无汉那坦那多那耶耶南无阿里，波罗揭谛舍，波罗揭谛舍。萨埵婆耶摩诃萨埵婆耶摩诃迦卢尼迦耶阿萨婆拉法伊索坦那坦夏那摩西基里伊巴阿里耶波罗揭谛舍波拉列达波那摩那拉金智西里摩巴多沙美萨婆他多苏巴舍伊萨婆萨埵南无婆萨南无婆伽摩巴特多坦智塔阿波罗西卢迦迦罗得伊西里摩阿菩提萨埵萨婆萨婆摩来摩摩西摩西里多伊吉罗吉罗揭摩多罗多巴沙耶帝摩诃巴沙耶帝多来多来帝利尼舍婆来则来则来摩摩哈摩来摩帝耶西西舍那舍那欧来萨婆来舍利瓦沙婆来舍耶呼噜呼噜摩来呼噜呼噜西利萨来萨西利西利苏噜苏噜菩提耶菩提耶菩提耶菩提弥帝利耶那来金持帝利舍利那婆耶摩来萨婆诃悉多耶萨婆诃摩诃悉多耶萨婆诃悉多耶舍婆来耶萨婆诃那来金持萨婆诃摩来那来萨婆悉罗萨摩摩揭耶萨婆诃萨婆摩诃悉多耶萨婆诃迦揭阿悉多耶萨婆诃波多摩揭悉多耶萨婆诃那来金持摩揭萨婆诃摩婆利舍揭那耶萨婆诃那摩哈那达那达那耶那摩阿利耶波罗揭谛舍婆那耶萨婆诃悉天多曼多巴多耶萨婆诃那摩哈那达那达那耶那摩阿利耶波罗揭谛舍婆那耶菩提萨埵婆耶摩诃萨埵婆耶摩诃迦卢尼迦耶萨婆来法伊说他那他夏那摩悉揭利多伊巴阿利耶波罗揭谛舍婆那那那波那摩那那金持悉利摩诃巴多沙利那波那多苏嘎阿舍伊萨婆萨埵那摩婆萨埵那摩婆伽摩巴特多恩智那波罗悉罗迦利迦那帝悉利摩诃菩提萨埵萨婆萨婆摩来摩来摩悉摩悉利多伊吉罗吉罗揭摩多罗多巴沙耶帝摩诃巴沙耶帝多来多来帝利尼舍婆来耶则来则来摩摩哈摩来摩帝悉悉舍那舍那欧来萨婆来舍利瓦舍瓦萨摩来舍耶呼噜呼噜摩来呼噜呼噜悉利萨来萨来悉利悉利苏噜苏噜菩提耶菩提耶菩提耶菩提耶弥帝利耶那那金持帝利舍利那婆耶摩萨婆诃悉多耶萨婆诃摩诃悉多耶萨婆诃悉多耶舍摩那耶萨婆诃那那金持萨婆诃摩那那那萨婆诃悉罗萨摩摩揭萨婆诃萨婆摩诃悉多耶萨婆诃悉那悉多耶萨婆诃摩他摩揭悉多耶萨婆诃那那金持摩揭那耶萨婆诃摩婆利舍揭那耶萨婆诃那摩哈那达那达那耶那摩阿利耶波罗揭谛舍婆那耶萨婆诃悉天多曼多拉巴多耶萨婆那摩哈那达那达那耶那摩阿利耶波罗揭谛舍婆那耶菩提萨埵婆耶摩诃萨埵婆耶摩诃迦卢尼迦耶萨婆那法说他那他夏那摩悉揭利多伊巴阿利耶波罗揭舍婆来那达波那摩那那金持悉利摩诃巴多沙沙婆他多苏巴瓦舍伊萨婆萨埵那摩婆萨埵那摩婆伽摩巴特坦智塔阿婆罗悉卢迦迦罗得伊悉利摩诃菩提萨埵萨婆萨婆摩来摩来摩悉摩悉利多因吉罗吉罗揭摩多罗多罗法舍耶帝摩诃法舍耶帝多来多来帝利尼舍婆来耶则那则那摩摩哈摩来摩帝利悉悉舍那舍那欧来萨婆来舍利瓦萨巴萨婆来舍耶呼噜呼噜摩来呼噜呼噜悉利萨来萨来悉利悉利苏噜苏噜菩提耶菩提耶菩提耶菩提弥帝利耶那来金持帝利舍利那婆耶摩那萨婆诃悉多耶萨婆诃摩诃悉多耶萨婆诃悉多耶舍婆来耶萨婆诃那那金持萨婆诃摩来那来萨婆诃悉罗萨摩揭耶萨婆诃萨婆摩诃悉多耶萨婆诃迦揭那悉多耶萨婆波多摩揭悉多耶萨婆诃那那金持摩揭那耶萨婆诃摩婆利舍揭那耶萨婆南无汉那达那多那耶南无阿利耶波罗揭谛舍婆那耶萨婆诃悉天多曼多拉巴多耶萨婆诃。
The great light Guan perfect and pervasive are his titles, vast and deep are his 12 great vows, saving living beings from the sea of suffering, listening to their sounds and saving them from sufferings. There is no land where he does not manifest. 南无观世音菩萨摩诃萨埵，南无观世音菩萨摩诃萨埵，南无观世音菩萨摩诃萨埵。观音 praise。
菩提萨埵，观世音 is wonderful Passcode teaching, pure and clear her autonomous grace to practice centuries long. Shiva's a red lotus flower, fragrant rest beneath her foot, baker of an autumn moon is in the crescent of her brows. Everywhere and constantly, sweet dew sprinkles from her waves. In her hand a willow branch, through the countless autumn. Prayers depart a thousand hearts, in a thousand hearts she answered, sailing the sea of suffering, crossing people over. Namo great, kind and compassionate Bodhisattva of the crystal land, who dwell upon the mountain and observe the sound of the world. Namo great, kind and compassionate Bodhisattva of the crystal land, who dwells upon the mountain and observe the sounds of the world. Namo great, kind and compassionate Bodhisattva of the crystal land, who dwells upon the mountain and observe the sounds of the world. Namo Quan Yin Bodhisattva, 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 Namo Quan Yin Bodhisattva. 萨巴 보리사바 나모 과인 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 보리사바 관인菩萨관인菩萨관인菩萨관인菩萨관인菩萨관인菩萨관인菩사 관인菩사 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 观音菩萨，观音菩萨，观音菩萨，观音菩萨，观音菩萨，观音菩萨，观音菩萨，观音菩萨，观音菩萨，观音菩萨，观音菩萨，观音菩萨，观音菩萨，观音菩萨，观音菩萨，观音菩萨，观音菩萨，观音菩萨，观音菩萨，观音菩萨，观音菩萨，观音菩萨，观音菩萨，观音菩萨，观音菩萨，观音菩萨，观音菩萨，观音菩萨，观音菩萨，观音菩萨，观音菩萨，观音菩萨，观音菩萨，观音菩萨，观音菩萨，观音菩萨，观音菩萨，观音菩萨，观音菩萨，观音菩萨，观音菩萨，观音菩萨，观音菩萨，观音菩萨，观音菩萨，观音菩萨，观音菩萨，观音菩萨，观音菩萨，观音菩萨，观音菩萨，观音菩萨，观音菩萨，观音菩萨，观音菩萨，观音菩萨，观音菩萨，观音菩萨，观音菩萨，观音菩萨，观音菩萨，观音菩萨，观音菩萨，观音菩萨，观音菩萨，观音菩萨，观音菩萨，观音菩萨，观音菩萨，观音菩萨，观音菩萨，观音菩萨，观音菩萨，观音菩萨，观音菩萨，观音菩萨，观音菩萨，观音菩萨，观音菩萨，观音菩萨，观音菩萨，观音菩萨，观音菩萨，观音菩萨，观音菩萨，观音菩萨，观音菩萨，观音菩萨，观音菩萨，观音菩萨，观音菩萨，观音菩萨，观音菩萨，观音菩萨，观音菩萨，观音菩萨，观音菩萨，观音菩萨，音菩萨，观音菩萨，观音菩萨，观音菩萨，观音菩萨，观音菩萨，观音菩萨，观音菩萨，观音菩萨，观音菩萨，观音菩萨，观音菩萨，观音菩萨，观音菩萨，观音菩萨。
May the Mary from this practice adorn all the Buddhas and repay the kindness from above and rescue those in paths below. May all who see or hear this resolve upon awakening, and when this body misses and be born together in the land of bliss. 3 vows. Bowing respect to the Venerable Master. Namo